What's going on, guys? Ted from Immersion here, and like oh so many of the rest of you, I'm sure, I'm obsessed with Pokemon Go. I've been doing streams, which have been interesting, trying to get Twitch streaming for my cell phone as I walk around, whether it be my town, lunchtime at work, or whatever. But you guys seem to really like it, and like, as a metric, very short streams with almost nothing actually happen has led to a lot of people commenting, following, subscribing, that kind of stuff. So it's clearly on everybody's mind. So I figure, why not talk about my top 10 wanted features for Pokemon Go? I'm going to start this list off with a couple of honorable mentions, which I think are good, and some of them are kind of ways around it, but... So first off, I have two honorable mentions. One is some sort of chat mode. I realized why Niantic and Nintendo didn't put a chat mode in there, as it could lead to griefing or some sort of weird, hating. It gives you a means to talk to other people rather than actually physically having a conversation with them, which would, typically physical conversations deter haters. I know on Android there is an app called GoChat, which is basically a Pokemon Go chat app. But this could be really good to have. It's like a message board, or I mean, I guess you can get this with like subreddits and things like that. But a way like, hey guys, I'm here. Come on over to X spot. There's a Charizard here. Again, I also realize there's negative connotations to that, where it could be some sort of weird fake scenario trying to lure people to you. So I get why they didn't do it. But I think if implemented correctly and the world was a wonderful place and there was never any issues, then that would be a good thing to add. And the other one, again, just real simple, a friends list. I think it'd be really cool to have your friends, everybody, you get each other's names, you both add each other, you get added to each other's friends list. You can keep up to date with your friends to see which new Pokemon they caught, what level they're at, maybe how many gyms they're currently holding. And maybe that's your chat app. You chat via the friends list. And then you can kind of see where your friends are at if they're actively online playing Pokemon Go. And that gives you another way to like, hey, where are you at? Let me give you a phone call, and then like we can go meet up and play Pokemon Go together. So, now that the honorable mentions are out of the way, let's get into the actual top 10. So, number 10, plain and simple, a tutorial mode. Typically, I mean, I'm an old school gamer. I've been playing for, before tutorial modes were even a thing. So I'm used to, old school Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis games where there was no tutorial. You just kind of figured it out as you went. But I think you kind of need it with the broad spectrum of players, people that have never really played video games before in their life, little kids, adults, senior citizens. People need to know how to play the game, and there are a lot of weird little nuances to Pokemon Go that I'm still not entirely sure people know what is going on, and I'm not sure I do either. Like do you want to have the ring be really big when you swipe a Pokeball, or do you want to have it be really small? In my brain and in the one interview, it always said to make it small. That's better for catching the Pokemon. But every time that I get the ring to be almost the same size as the outer ring, I get a nice throw. Just getting a nice throw, a great throw, an excellent throw, a curveball. Do those increase your chances of getting a Pokemon, or does it only add extra experience? The way the nearby tracker works, I mean, I know it's kind of broken for a lot of people right now, but the way that works isn't explained anywhere in the game. Like, you don't know that. If you get into a battle in a gym that you have to tap and swipe, you can swipe to dodge. Again, these are slightly hidden in-game tutorials if you know where to look in the tips section. But you can swipe to dodge in a gym, and you can tap and long press to do different attacks. The fact that typing matters. Typing and type of attacks matters when it comes to gym battles. Nowhere in the game does it tell you what typing beats what typing. And if you're brand new to Pokemon, only playing from having picked up Pokemon Go, you don't know that Poison type beats Fairy type. How does that even make sense in your head? You wouldn't know that. But if you had that somewhere in game, or something like that, you could reference. That would be really good. So I don't typically like tutorial modes, but I think this game could use one just to get a lot of the kind of weird kind of up, up in the air things out of the way to explain it. Again, explaining that transferring Pokemon right up front gets you additional candies and ways to get Stardust, or the fact that you need to catch duplicates to evolve your Pokemon. If you've been playing the original games, you want one type of each Pokemon. You don't necessarily want to catch 15 Pidgeys to evolve your Pidgey to a Pidgeotto. It doesn't actually tell you that in the game. You need a tutorial to really tell you that, or talk to somebody else, I guess. Or look it up on Google. Number 9 is Pokemon Centers. It's a staple of the Pokemon universe. The fact that we have gyms and Pokestops is wonderful. Why not make something, it doesn't have to be these, but something like hospitals or clinics, or even just a whole new area that are Pokemon Centers. You can travel to the Pokemon Center and heal all of your Pokemon for free without using a revive or using potions. It's just an area where you can go and just talk to the Nurse Joy and have her heal all of your Pokemon. It's just another cool facet they could add to the game, and another place for you to visit aside from Pokestops and gyms. Number 8, I feel like everybody wants this, and I'm not alone in this either. Trading. Player-to-player trading. If I live in an area where I can catch tons of Bulbasaurs, and you live in an area where there's a ton of Charmanders, we could trade Charmanders for Bulbasaurs. Now, I'm not sure how candy trading would go with that. Would this just be to fill your Pokedex, or would it also grant you candies? Because you could technically spend all of those candies before you traded, so that would be something that needs to get worked out. And that may be why we don't have player-to-player trading as it is, but it's one of the biggest functions of Pokemon, aside from battling, collecting, and trading. So I feel like we need player-to-player trading in a future patch. And kind of following right up on the tail end of that, number 7 is battling, player-to-player battling. Gym battling is fun. I like that you can team up with other members of your team to try to take down a gym. That's awesome. But I would love to be able to challenge my friends to, player-to-player battles. This is something I heard from somebody when I was out playing the other night. They wish they'd let you have more than 2 attacks. I feel like 2 attacks is fine because of the format of the phone, the mobile style of game, and the fact that you have new people kind of playing it that aren't familiar. I realize it's not like the best excuse, but I feel like 2 moves is fine given the format of the game. Number 6, kind of again keying off of that, would be TMs, or some sort of method to allow you to change the moves of your Pokemon. I can tell you I have a Kingler. Kingler's my favorite Pokemon. I have like an 800 CP Kingler. He's awesome, but his moves are Pound, or Stomp, and Vice Grip. He is a water-type Pokemon that has no water moves. He has 2 normal-based moves, and the one move has an attack, a CP, like an attack power of 12, and his special long charge-up move is Vice Grip, which has an has an attack power of 15. So I can just continually tap and do 12 damage, or long press to do an extra 3. Not really worth it. I'd love for my water Pokemon to have a water move. How about Crab Hammer? Would have been a thing to just give him when he leveled up. I'd like to have some sort of TM or item that I can pick up at a Pokestop. Maybe it's just called Move Swap or something like that, and you get it at a Pokestop, and it allows you to change out one of your moves for another move that Pokemon could learn. Bubble Beam, Mud Shot, whatever. And you could choose to do that. And if you had a whole bunch, maybe you could even swap before a battle. That way you are ready to go into the gym with the proper moves. I don't see any problem with that. And I think they should be attainable at Pokestops and for leveling. But you know what? You could throw them in the shop, and people will probably buy them for Pokecoins or money. Or buy Pokecoins with real-world money to buy these things. I think that would be a great item to throw in there. Number 5 is leaderboards. I want to know where I stand in the world amongst other Pokemon trainers. I have, I think, 96 of 151 captured. So I want to know how I'm stacking up. Where do I stand in the world? Am I in the top? Am I even close to the top person? I want to know who has the most Pokemon. Is somebody running around with like 145 Pokemon captured, just waiting for the legendaries to come out? I want to know that. Show me a leaderboard. Let me, again, if you have a friends list that we talked about as an honorable mention, Let me see how I rank up against my friends. Who has the highest attack power Pokemon, you know? Who was the first to get this? And who's the best in, you know, in North America? Who's the best in Europe and things like that? I think that'd be really good. It'd help to breed the competitive nature of a game, and it will add more people want to get out there to be better so they can see their name climb up in the ranks. I think that's kind of a no-brainer. Number 4 is legendary events. I think we're going to get these. I think we all think we're going to get them. But massive kind of events where we can go and, like, Mewtwo has appeared. Like they showed in the trailer, or Mewtwo appeared in Times Square, and everybody showed up together to battle Mewtwo, and then they beat it so that it showed up in everybody's inventory who was there. I think we will get those, but I just want them now. So, or to reiterate that we should get them. That's why it's number 4 on this list. Number 3 is more ways to gain Pokecoins. The only way currently to gain Pokecoins, other than buying them with real-world money, or stealing, or getting somebody else's credit card, or somebody maybe gifting them to you, if that's even a possibility. Maybe they should make, like, gift cards so you can give people a gift card of Pokecoins. The only way to really do that is to own a gym, is to have your team take a gym, and have you put one Pokemon in there, and then you can tap the little shield button up in the top right of the shop, and get 10 coins per gym held, or per Pokemon that you have in a gym that's held by your team. Realistically, unless you have a ton of gyms close by, you're probably going to get 1, maybe 2, unless you're really holding it each 24 hours. When you hold it, you're going to get an additional 500 Stardust and 10 coins, but it's 10 coins at a time. The lowest thing you can buy in the shop is 80 coins. So, some other way. Maybe when you hit a certain level you can get it. Maybe if you catch a certain rare Pokemon, like, you know, something that they deem legitimately rare. Maybe if you evolve a Magikarp to a Gyarados, you get 50 coins, because it's such a crazy task. Tie it to the medal system. Right now, the medals that you have that are tied to your player, to your avatar, which again, another thing that could show up on those leaderboards we talked about, they serve no purpose other than they are just achievements that show that you've progressed at some point. Maybe tie, you know, when you hit the 500,000 kilometers walked, or whatever thing you want to come up with, then you get some Pokecoins for that. Give us some other thing other than an achievement, which again, nobody can see unless I physically say, hey, look at my achievement on my physical phone. Let me get other ways to get Pokecoins. Let it tie it to some other in-game mechanic so you don't have to add another weird way to gain currency. Number 2 is character customization. As you can tell, I have a beard, and I have very different hair. I don't have spiky anime-esque hair, and I've never worn a visor in my life. So I want to build my avatar to make him look more like me. Let me get character customization options. Let me find them in the game if that's what you want. Maybe I go to a barber shop in game, and that's like a Pokestop, and when I swipe it, I get beard as an option to edit my character. I know a lot of people are going to say, I wish I knew that what I was doing when I chose my team, Mystic, Valor, Instinct. I would have chose this, I would have chose different. Add another option, add Team Harmony, which is done with Lumia. Excuse me, guys. But any kind of character customization option, even different clothes, because I don't ever think I would ever wear, like, knee-high socks or whatever the characters wear with the shorts and the weird sandal things. Can I just have a pair of jeans and, like, Converses and maybe a flannel or just a t-shirt? I would love to have that, so let me... I don't want to pay for it. I don't think I should have to pay for character customization options. I feel like I should be able to either obtain them or they should just be in the game from the get-go. I feel like I can't be alone in this. The way that customizable characters went over so well in X and Y and soon to be in Sun and Moon, I feel like they just missed the boat on that one. And finally, number 1, something I feel everybody kind of saw coming and has thought, is just more Pokemon. Let us get Gen 2. I realize it's a little early in the life cycle, but there are people I'm sure playing Pokemon right now, playing Pokemon Go, that don't really know the original 150 because they started with Gen 3. I mean, they know them by name or possibly by completing their Pokedex, but they're not as focused as some of those Gen 1ers out there who started from the get-go and know all these Pokemons like the back of our hand. Another point is that everybody's talking about that team harmony, the kind of team fostered by Lugia based around Pokemon the Movie 2000. We can't technically have team harmony. It wouldn't make sense because we don't have Johto Pokemon. So I think everything that I've talked about on this list should be added to the game. But if they stagger the releases of when the... I mean, first of all, fix the servers first and let it actually stay up and fix the nearby tracker so that we can actually find the Pokemon. But if once they have that done, these 10 things and possibly even the honorable mention stuff, if you stagger the releases, that will continue to add new functionality and new things to the game to make people want to keep playing. You alright over there, Xander? It's causing a lot of noise in the background here. But yeah, anyway guys, that was pretty much it for my top 10 features for Pokemon Go. I just kind of want to get it out there to you guys to let you know what I thought about it, and I'm curious to see what you guys want. What you think would be good for the game. Do you agree with the stuff on my list? Do you think they're stupid? What else would you add? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway guys, I'll see you out there traveling around catching Pokemon. See you next time.